Welcome to the era of the uncanny valley auditory experience. Embark Studios, the folks who managed to drop the finals and Arc Raiders into a market more crowded than a subway car during a plague, have achieved the impossible: 8 million players. That's a miracle. It's like opening a lemonade stand in the middle of a riot and walking away a billionaire. But instead of celebrating with, human dignity, they've decided to see how far they can push the minimum viable human scale. You're playing Arc Raiders, dodging bullets, and suddenly your teammate speaks. Is it a person? Is it a ghost? No, it's a text-to-speech algorithm having a localized stroke. Embark is out here pioneering the ethical AI movement, which is corporate speak for we paid a human actor once, threw their vocal cords into a digital meat grinder, and now we own their soul for the price of a mid-tier Starbucks gift card. They swear they're being transparent, but let's be real. If I wanted to listen to a robot struggle with basic inflection, I'd just call my bank's automated customer service line. The defense is the best part. They claim AI allows them to be fast and reactive. Translation: they didn't want to book a recording studio, because that requires things like scheduling and paying for lunch. Why hire a professional voice actor who can convey grief, triumph, or fear, when you can have a server rack in Stockholm approximate the sound of a human being strangled by a modem? It's the iRobot. You pay $40 starter pack. You get the high-octane gameplay, but the narrative soul is being handled by an algorithm that thinks excitement sounds like a vacuum cleaner hitting a rug. We're being sold a future where games are living, breathing worlds, populated by things that don't actually breathe. It's a paradox where the more successful a game becomes, the less human it needs to be. Embark is leading the charge into a world where your favorite hero doesn't have a voice actor, they have a license agreement and a set of parameters. If this is the future of immersion, I'd rather go back to the days of 8-bit bleeps and bloops. At least enter Jung-Un Lee, the CEO of Nexon, a man who clearly graduated from the My Mom Said, If Everyone Jumped Off a Bridge, I Should Calculate the Terminal Velocity School of Management. In a recent display of corporate honesty that felt more like a threat, Lee basically told the world to sit down and shut up, because every game company is using AI. It's the ultimate everyone's doing it defense. It's the kind of logic you hear from a teenager who got caught smoking in the bathroom, except this teenager manages a multi-billion-dollar gaming empire. Nexon isn't just using AI, they're treating it like a mandatory religion. The vibe is, why are you peasants complaining about the quality of the soup, when every restaurant is using the same brand of industrial-grade sawdust? It's a race to the bottom, and Nexon is trying to claim pole position. When a CEO tells you that AI is inevitable, what they're actually saying is, we've found a way to stop paying people with hobbies and families, and we'd appreciate it if you didn't make it weird. This is the slippery slope Olympics. We went from AI can help with background grass textures to AI as our new creative director in the span of a fiscal quarter. Lee's stance is a masterclass in gaslighting. He's trying to normalize the hollowing out of creative industries by suggesting that if the rot is everywhere, it's not actually rot, it's just the new aesthetic. The message to the casual fan is simple: your curiosity about the behind-the-scenes magic of game development is a nuisance to the bottom line. Don't worry about whether a human wrote that quest, or if a bot hallucinated it between processing spreadsheets. Just keep clicking the buy button on those microtransactions. If Nexon's logic holds, the next step is having AI players in your lobby to simulate a community, so the company doesn't even have to worry about the human element of its player base either. It's an ecosystem of bots selling bits to bots, and we're just the ones providing the electricity and the credit card numbers. Tim Sweeney, the man who turned a dancing banana into a global currency, is currently the high priest of the productivity gospel. He's out here defending AI like it's a family member who just won the lottery. According to Sweeney, AI increases productivity by integer multiples. I love that phrasing. It's so cold. It's not we can make better games, it's we can churn out content faster than you can find the uninstall button for Fortnite. To Sweeney, a game isn't an art form, it's a content delivery pipeline that needs to be greased with the digital grease of automation. He's offended, genuinely offended, that Steam would dare to ask for AI disclosures. He views it as a political distraction. Imagine that, asking to know if the art you're consuming was made by a person or a server farm in Ohio is now political. Nothing says I've lost the plot quite like being annoyed that customers want transparency. The Epic Games boss wants a world where the Unreal Engine is basically an insert game idea here machine. The productivity he's talking about isn't for you, the player. It's for the shareholders. It means more skins, more map changes, and more events, generated by a machine that never sleeps. It's the content slop era. If a human takes 3 weeks to paint a sunset, but a bot can do it in 3 seconds. Sweeney sees those 3 weeks as lost revenue. The irony is that Epic built its brand on empowering creators. Apparently, that empowerment comes with an expiration date once the bot can do it cheaper. The productivity gospel is just a fancy way of saying quantity over quality. When you start measuring art in integer multiples, you've officially turned gaming into a spreadsheet with a high frame rate. Sweeney isn't just defending AI, he's defending the right to sell you a product that was touched by as few human hands as possible, while still charging you full price. Even the golden boys aren't safe. Larian Studios, the developers of Baldur's Gate 3, a game so good it made other developers cry, recently stepped into the AI puddle and got their boots wet. While announcing a new Divinity game, they admitted to using AI for exploring ideas. In the industry, exploring ideas is corporate code for, we didn't want to pay a concept artist to spend 6 hours on Google Images, so we asked a bot to hallucinate a dragon. This is the ultimate betrayal for the hardcore fans, who thought Larian was the last bastion of handcrafted quality. It turns out, even the gods of the RPG world like to take shortcuts. The problem with exploring ideas with AI is that AI doesn't have ideas, it has a statistical average of everyone else's ideas. It's like trying to write a masterpiece by looking at the most popular section of Pinterest. The fan backlash was swift, mainly because we've spent the last year being told that Larian is different. They're by the players for the players' studio. But when you start using bots to ideate, you're admitting that the human imagination is just a bit too slow for your production schedule. It's a critical fail on a charisma check of epic proportions. What's even funnier is the hallucination aspect. AI doesn't know what a dragon looks like, it knows what a billion pixels of dragon-adjacent images look like. So you end up with concepts that have 3 tails and wings made of spaghetti, and then a human artist has to spend their day fixing the robot's mess. It's not exploring ideas, it's cleaning up digital vomit. Larian tried to play it off as a harmless experiment, but it revealed a crack in the armor. Even the best in the business are tempted by the siren song of the generate button. After the AI admission, Sven Vink, the man usually seen wearing a literal suit of armor, had to go on a social media tear to save his studio's reputation. It was a fueled rant that felt less like a CEO and more like a man trying to put out a kitchen fire with a thimble of water. He clarified that they aren't firing their 23 concept artists. Great. Wonderful. But the damage was done. The funniest part of the defense was Sven claiming they use AI like a reference book. I'm sorry, but I don't remember reference books having the potential to replace the person reading them. His own employees have been on record saying they loved working there until AI became a thing. That's a yikes that can be seen from space. There is a massive internal rift between management, who sees efficiency, and the artists who see a looming pink slip. This is the develop vs paint debate. Larian's publishing boss, Michael Dowse, wants the AI bubble to pop, yet he defends using it to generate reference outlines. He's trying to walk a tightrope over a pit of angry Twitter users. Apparently, there's a massive moral difference between a machine developing a concept and painting it. It's like saying, I didn't steal the car, I just ideated it out of your driveway. The disconnect is embarrassing. You can't claim to be the champion of human creativity while simultaneously feeding your artists' work into a machine that mimics them. Sven's rant was a desperate attempt to maintain the indie, darling image while steering a massive corporate ship. It turns out, even with a high charisma stat, you can't talk your way out of the fact that your company is flirting with tech that's actively trying to devalue your employees' skills. Finally, we reach the final bosses of corporate cynicism, EA and Square Enix. EA is out here telling its employees to treat AI as a thought partner. That is the most terrifying phrase I've ever heard. It's like being told to treat the guy who's taking your job as your new best friend. Hey Dave, I need you to train this bot to do exactly what you do, but without the healthcare costs. He's your thought partner. Now show him how you handle the lighting engine before we escort you from the building. And then there's Square Enix. They've gone full cyberpunk villain. They want AI to handle 70% of QA and debugging. Because if there's one thing we know about AI, it's that it's famously good at logic and never ever makes mistakes. I'm sure Final Fantasy XVII will be a flawless masterpiece and definitely won't feature a protagonist with 17 fingers and a voice that sounds like a fax machine in a blender. The 70% automation dream is actually a player's nightmare. Quality assurance is the soul of a game's polish. It's humans finding weird ways to break the game. A bot can check if a door opens, a human can tell you if the door opening feels like garbage. By automating the boring stuff, they're removing the last line of defense against the junk that plagues modern AAA titles. Square Enix and EA are essentially betting that you, the player, won't notice or won't care. They're betting that a good enough game, made by a thought partner, is just as sellable as a masterpiece made by humans. It's a bleak, automated future, where games are content to be consumed and discarded, rather than experiences to be remembered. But hey, at least the stock price will look great, while the game world falls through the floor, because the AI thought partner forgot how gravity works.